So today we will be talking about the application process for two important universities. One will be Northeastern, where I'm currently enrolled, and second I would also like to talk about University of California Irvine, where I got into. So if you're someone who was planning to apply to a business analytics or data analytics program, or is planning to just have a look out at the process of the documents required, you're in the right place. So yeah, let's get started. So firstly, with Northeastern, the application is entirely online. You have the portal where you upload all your documents that are required or that they require, and then you submit your application. After that, it goes on through various stages, and then you get all the updates through your email, which you have put in during the application process, which gives you all the insights, and that's how you understand if you're accepted or rejected first place. So let's start. So first things first, you will need a proper statement of purpose called the SOP, which as mentioned on the website says is of 500 to 1000 words, should be of 500 to 2000 words. So basically, the statement of purpose is a kind of a essay which tells your intent to study at Northeastern or to study analytics or the program that you're enrolled at in general. So in my case, I was enrolled at IDP and also LEAP Scholar, these two parties helped me basically draft my SOP and to make sure that I have all my points written. So with these parties, what happened is they gave me everything. They gave me the questionnaire kind of a thing which had all the points required, which I had to put in the SOP, and then they just helped me draft the SOP according to those questionnaires. So I followed the guidelines and the questions according to the guidelines provided by them, and then they drafted it. Then they checked for plagiarism and all the spelling mistakes and grammatical mistakes in order to draft a proper SOP. So in my case, I basically had a runner SOP which contains of all the projects that I've worked on, all the internships, all the data, or everything that I've done from my 8th standard until my graduation, until my 4th year of my undergrad. And then I had my SOPs for specific universities, like in this case for Northeastern and for UC Irvine. So for both the universities, I had to make sure that I change the name of the university, and then in some parts I also mentioned how Northeastern is going to help me get to my goals, or how UC Irvine is going to help me get to my goals in general. So I mentioned that, so I had to just change that portions of that of the specific resume. And in this case for Northeastern, I also added basically the name of the professor. There was one of my professors who had worked on cancer research and also COVID-19 pandemic. So I was very intrigued by his work, to be honest, and that's why I put his name. I researched about his projects, and then I made sure that I write it in such a way that it aligns with my projects that I worked in my undergrad. So in this case, what I did was I mentioned his name and said that I would like to work under this professor because I have worked on this project which aligns with my future goals, and I would gain guidance and help and support from him as my mentor. So that is something I would recommend highly of doing, because that shows that you have done some research on your part. Because what I think, mentioning the rank of the university or that it's very prestigious, more than that, showing that that is something that Northeastern, the people who are checking your admissions or your files know, right? That's why they're there at Northeastern, or everyone in general. It's a very common statement, saying that the reason I am enrolling or want to enroll because Northeastern is prestigious or the ranking is good and it's in Boston and anything like that. It's pretty much general. So make sure you, in those words or in those contexts, you make sure that you tell them your actual intent of applying at Northeastern or being a part of Northeastern, why you would like to enroll at this specific program. So that is something which I would focus on at this point, is drafting a very good SOP for a very beginning stage of your application. Next, I would like to mention the third document, which is the second document that is required, is the resume, your professional resume. So basically, in my case, that was also cross-checked and corrected by my counselors at IDP and LEAP Scholar. So my resume basically was the resume which we have commonly for applying to jobs and stuff like that. I had all of my it was a one-page resume. I had all of my internship experiences mentioned. I had all of my projects mentioned. Then I also had my coursework at my undergraduate level mentioned. Then my CGPA as well, and my so I was also a part of Lions Club, and I was a training and placement coordinator in my undergraduate. So all these things were mentioned in my resume. So basically, make sure that you mention only those aspects which will kind of align with the university's goal, or what they're looking for in a candidate, or like what the university lives for, or like what they thrive for in as such. So if you go to the website, you will get to know, or like what are the values of the university, or like what is the main focus or intent in the future. So your SOP resume should basically reflect that in while portraying, or like while submitting your application. Another important document is the unofficial transcript. So the thing here is, while you send in your application, you have to give in your unofficial transcripts, which are the ones which you scan by your own self and then upload it on the portal. It is the same. So in my case, the thing is, I got my transcripts from the university, and then I scanned it and I uploaded it, but because it was sent by me from my side, it is not considered official as such. So for the application process, and for if in order to get you selected, an official transcript is okay, but when it comes to getting you fully admitted, you need to submit an official transcript, which can be done either by like sending it through mail to the address at Northeastern, like given by Northeastern, or maybe you second thing is you can email them. Not you, basically your university or your college in your home country can email your transcripts through from the official ID to Northeastern's email, which is given to you at on the portal. Basically, it's different for every college and every program. And the third option which I did in my case was that they have this option, like when you fly in, you can come in person and give them a sealed transcript, sealed envelope having the transcript and the degree certificate. So for the next part is the letter of recommendation. So for the admission process at CPS where I'm enrolled at, you need 2 letter of recommendations from either professionals who have mentored you during your time in industry, or maybe professors who have taught you, or your mentors in general. So in my case, I submitted 3 LORs, out of which one was from my professor who had taught me for around 2 years, and who was also my mentor for my final year project. Another one was from my internship time at a company back in India, and third was also from my internship during my last semester, my last year at my during my undergraduate. So one thing that I would like to mention regarding LORs or letter of recommendations is that when you're working on like letter of recommendations, make sure that it has something to do, or like there is some or the other way that links the professor's connection with what you're trying to say, or like portray in your resume, in your LORs. So like for example, make sure that they have taught you something, or maybe they have mentored you in some part or like some aspect, so that they can write a lot about you in that letter of recommendation. And like, because you have to mention a lot of things, like just mentioning one project and then saying that I have taught this person this project won't do a lot. But if he or she or they have taught you in like for example in like 2 or 3 different courses, and then you have worked for projects under them, or like if they have done something like that, you can mention it. You have more content basically that portrays or tells the admissions office more about you. Another important factor is your test scores. For my program currently where I'm enrolled, you only need the IELTS or the English language test. So for your, as it's mentioned, you either have to give the TOEFL, IELTS, PT, Duolingo, or any global exam scores. So for in my case, I gave the IELTS. So speaking about University of California Irvine, the process was pretty much the same. Like I mentioned, we had the SOPs, we had the LORs, but in this case we had the SOP which they had 2 essays basically, one of which was our our basic SOP, but this time they had a word limit. I don't remember the exact word limit, but I believe it was around 500 or 600. So that they had that, but they also had one more other essay, which was describe an incident in your life that has changed your perspective or that has changed you as a person. So these kind of essays are really very important when with universities like UC or Irvine or anything like that, because they want to check you, they want to see like they want to get to know you more better as a candidate in that context. So in my case, I had described an incident which happened in my childhood. I wrote a proper it also had a word limit, I guess, of 250 words. So you have to, in those essays, make sure that you think thoroughly and you write it properly with the content which will portray you, or like what are you as a person. And yeah, that is how I put in the application. So yeah, that is it for this video. If you would really like to know about what happens when you put in the application and the process after that, maybe for Northeastern and for UC or Irvine, I would like, you can comment down in the comment section below. I would love to talk more about it. I would specifically make a video differently for UC or Irvine and how I got selected, the entire process, because they have a lot of interviews and stuff, and how to prepare for them and what kind of questions you might get asked. So if you want that, and if you would like to know more about any of these universities, the courses, or like how life at Northeastern look like, you can let me know in the comments below, so that I can make a separate video for that on that as well. If you really like this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. So until next time, bye.